Hello, my U-Turn family. Welcome to the U-Turn Show. If you are new, this is a platform for empowering our communities through impactful conversations, real life stories, and resources for youth and women. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we gather here to spotlight voices that challenge limits and those that reminds us that real change begins the moment we choose to turn in a new direction, to make a U-turn. So, if you are navigating change in your life, looking for clarity, or building the next big thing, you belong here. So, share this conversation and stick with us as we begin the real talk, real growth, real U turn. All right, real growth, real conversation, real U turn. And today, conversation is really about the U turns of life. We know that life is full of ups and downs, and oftentimes it can lead to hopelessness or depression, but also could lead to inspiration and progress. And so today conversation, you turn conversation on the topic turning struggle into opportunities, is really focusing on how we can actually turn the challenges of life into opportunities for success, into opportunities for prosperity. And you can start from anywhere in your life, right? You can start from, a background that is very humble, or a background that is moving somewhere and, make something out of yourself. So today conversation is really more of inspiration, storytelling, where the U10 family here on the screen, Halakir, hey, thanks for joining, and the U10 fellow here, Luca. Thanks for joining. And myself will be sharing some of the stories and other folks who might join later on how we have actually been, building purpose to, from where we were in our life, where we are right now, and where we are going. How we have been turning some of challenges and struggles into opportunities for progress. And so I will start with Alakir to start us off this conversation. I know many people know you, but maybe here you will be able to introduce yourself and share a bit about your life that not many people might know. So, Alakir, can you take us a little bit back to, a moment in your life where things were not working, and and what happened that helped you to begin to see that situation differently and to move forward with your life to be where you are today on the U-Turn show, sharing your story.
Thank you, Okwal. I get a bit self-conscious when I share my story, but it's my pleasure if it's gonna change someone's perspective, someone's life. It's gonna give one or two people hope out there. Then I've accomplished what I'm here to do on the U-turn. So when turning challenges into opportunities is something. While somebody is in the challenge, it's not easy for them to see opportunities, right? There has to be some external force to pull them out or to give them that perspective. And for me, it started from when you grow up at very young age. I think I was in uh grade 8, yeah, it's grade 7, grade 8. And many adversities have happened at this point. While I was in grade 7, going to grade 8, I got really sick, failed the exam, and I was gonna stay behind while my cohort are going to the next grade. My cousin, my niece, and I had to really advocate for me. That's why I think advocacy is first for yourself, not for others. And then if you have advocated for yourself successfully, you can lift others up. um, I remember us going several times to look for the regional director. I went to Kadugli Primary School in Kakuma refugee camp, and in my grade 7, going to grade 8 is a very strict exam. Not everyone can go to grade 8. I unfortunately gotten sick and didn't take some of the exam, and you can go to the next grade if you haven't gotten a passing mark. So we would walk almost every day while people started doing their grade 8. Very exciting time in people life because you're now almost done with elementary school and you're going Bala secondary school. We walked. The headmaster then said, "Oh, I don't have any, any power to make sure you get on the list. It's the regional director that is able to get you on the list if you can present your case." So we went to talk to him several times. Sometime we meet him on his way out of the office, and he's like, "Come back tomorrow." So we came back. Um, that cousin, his cousin or niece, depending how you look at it, she holds such a special place in my heart and inform how I, care for others and care for what I want to do. Eventually, I was able to join grade 8 with not so great marks, and even the grade 8 exam I failed. 250 out of 500 is the passing mark. I got 240 something. And it just so happened that a lot of people recognize why the girls were falling behind in their studies because of cultural background and the different responsibilities women and girls have to carry at home in addition to going to school. So we were allowed to go to high school with minimum of 200 marks. So minimum 200 out of 500 in that was the intervention. So I ended up going to secondary school, and by grade 8 is when I had the biggest U-turn. Like people around me were going to Kenyan school, getting scholarships, or their parents are helping them out. I had one desperate attempt to get somebody that I think should have taken care of me to support me. It didn't work out, and I had to sit down and say, you know what? This I look around me. This this life people are living here in the camp is going to be me if I don't do anything. Like nobody is coming to save me, and that is it sounds sad when people hear that. And if there's somebody coming to save you, I would want you to be very, to know that you're very lucky, right? To have those people in your life that are coming to save you. But if you don't, you have to figure it out, right? Uh, Achira and Chibentu in your family to create the pathway, and you are the first one to do that. It's a lot of work, and it takes a lot of effort and time. So the U-turn came when I decided no one is coming to save me. I have to do something. I had no idea what to do. Even the school, I was already failing. But the thing is, when you know you have to change something and you don't know what it is you want to change or how to go about it, I feel like action is your best friend. Doing something. So for me to, escape my worries or whatever, I would stay in school. I would leave at 7 a.m., go to school and only come back at 7 p.m. because nothing really inspiring to do outside of school. And I ended up improving, in school. I wasn't like super dumb. I was smart. It just things happen. So education then changed everything, right? And I'm not saying that I've never had any problems or challenges since then. Janjal in the refugee camp, there has been a lot of things to deal with. COVID 19, and I graduate right in COVID 19, things like that. So it's always what I always tell people is do something or talk to people about what you're going through, and you might find someone to hold your hand, block any in. Um, if there's nothing else, your education is the go to. Always try to learn something new. And you don't have to see the whole path in front of you. You just need to trust that Kiloi are being coined in the future in ways you cannot imagine. So before I take too much time, Okwalukur, that's a little bit about me. I will give it back to you.
Wow, Alakir, thank you so much for sharing your life story. How your U-turn moment, and it just always when you share with me. I know we've been friends for more than a decade now, and when I listen to your story, it just become like a new again. It's like I'm listening for it, for the first time because from someone who is failing exam to someone who get like whose grade depend Canada through merit-based scholarship. It's mind blowing how that transition happened. So more question to follow up later, but I want to also give the chance to other U10 fellows to share, the U10 moment, and maybe I can go to Luca first. and then we'll go to Joel, and then Dorcas before I can ask you follow-up questions. So, Luca, maybe take us a bit about your journey as a Salakir, what, moment in your life when things were not working, and what did you do that helped you begin to see that differently and, bring you to where you are today on the U-turn platform?
Okay, thank you, Madam Kwal Philip, and also to the U10 members, especially Lakir and Shoal March plus Ditch. Dorcas, I always forget your name, so I normally use that name. Simple. Anyway, it is good, and we have to share our story basically on how someone reached up to where they are today and the challenge that face an individual through their journey until they reach where they are today. I think where I came from, mostly there are I don't know about I don't know anything about the other side of South Sudan, but where I came from, when you are a firstborn, there are a lot of expectations, even from the family members, including your mom, your dad. They expect a lot from you when you are growing up. And to me, this one has put me and it has made me face a lot of challenges in my life, which if I did not put down my head and think twice about what to do, I would have not made it to become a U10 member today. Nothing would have brought me here. So to take you back, I think it was in 2010 when I started for primary 8, but my primary 1 up to primary 7, it was okay. There's no problem. I was starting massively in the village, and my main challenge was that I'm not good in speaking in English. That was the main thing that I was always talking about. Even when there is a debate in our class, I want every week to be among the people who are going to debate, who are going to be selected for a debate. Because in my life, I have a passion of uh, someone who want to become a journalist. That was my vision when I was still young. And then when we joined our classes, the time I joined school 2003 until 2007, that dream shifted. Some of my friends encouraged me and they talked to me that we have to be a medical doctors. We have to focus on those science courses later on when we finish primary. So this put me back to not to have a hope of becoming a journalist again, but I also have that passion with me. So in 2010, when I was about to finish primary 8, things did not work well. And I have that vision with me that I should change my life than to become somebody who can put all the life in village. Yeah, and I want to be town. I've never been in any town since I was born. Only that those local town in the village. And I have hope that I should be Swau or even others big town in South Sudan. That one pushed me out of my comfort zone at home, and I traveled to Wow. And things become very tough when I reached Wow 2010 in January. I stay in Wow for almost 9 to 10 months. I went back to village in October on date 15th, 2010, and I was about to miss primary 8 that year. I was not supposed to be part of the candidate, but since I went back to village, some of my friends told me we have been attending lesson. You are not there, and we remain with only 3 to 4 months for exam. Now you want to join us? How will you make it? I told them, me, I'm very weak in speaking. Like when we have a debate, I cannot speak well. But all other courses, those subjects in primary, you know them. There are only 5, and you have to find a way of how to be very capable in mathematics and English. If you even if you pass others books, mathematics has like 40, and English has 60 in our last exam that we have set for. It was 230, but they need you to score at least 115 for you to pass to senior one, and that one become very tough. So some of my friends advised me not to sit with them for primary exam. I have to wait for 2011. And this one, I did not take it as something very easy. I told them this. you see it as a challenge to me, but I have to find a way to join you. So I decided to go to the school. But only that all the teachers in our school, most of them did not believe in me. Only one. I even followed that guy until today. I'm still with him, and I do appreciate him for believing in me when nobody want to believe in me that time. He's the one who told. He's called Valentino Con. He told the teachers that you leave Luca because if a student, even people try to be in the top 10 in Prima 7, and he has spent those months away doing other activities which are not related to education in WOW, and he came back to us now, and he want to join, then you have to give him a chance. If he is the one to fail our center later on in the examination of Warabi State primary living examination, then it is okay. We should also have tried our level best first. So mostly they did interview, and I passed three of the subject, only that I failed maths and English. And with a little a bit mark, I got 43 in mathematics and 40 in English. So Akon came and talked to me and said, Luca, I think you are still working well. You have passed other subject and you failed these two subjects. What you can do, keep going, keep trying. So that one pushed me until when we sat for our exam, I got 195 and I passed primary living examination, which gave me primary living certificate. And in 2011, I went to senior one in Mayanabun secondary school, and things did not work well because there's no one I know, and I joined with one of my uncle's son, and things did not work well. We pushed until 2012. I did not went back for my senior two in Mayanabun, but I decided instead for me to sit in my mom and my dad house there, and they are the same people who said we don't have anything to give you like cow or goat to go and sell so that you can proceed with your studies. I better go back to WOW. This is where I decided and came back to WOW. I even take risk and registered my own brother who is coming after me in Prima 7. I told him it is your turn now, but I'll go and struggle to help you so that we should push our studies. Since mom and dad say they don't have anything. By the way, it has become very tough on me until 2013. I left WOW again. I gone back to village. And that is the time I went and take a decision to join secondary school again. I skipped senior 2 and went to senior 3. Even headmaster was telling me, Luca, where is the certificate for senior 2? I told them, I lied to them that I did senior 2 in WOW, and during that war in WOW 2012, things did not work well. And my certificate, I was given a certificate and it got banned in my house where I was living. So I cannot process the certificate again. They accepted, but things did not move as I wish, because there are some challenges that face you when you are trying to push yourself as an individual. One of my uncle's son is the one who was standing behind my back when I was in senior 3. That was my final year. And at the end, things did not work well until we reached up to the end of the year 2013, and the war broke out. As you all know, those who were supposed to sit in March 2014, they were pushed up to June. We are the base of that year, and I was about to leave school for completely, so that I should go and do whatever I can do to feed my life with. I came back to WOW in 2014. I spent almost 3 months in WOW. From January to February until March, I was in WOW, and I did not make it back to village until when we are in April. Those guys who were starting with me together called me and said, Luca, even if you want to give up, you have already filled the form and your name is already taken to the examination clerks, and now it is your turn. Either you want to join or you will not join, your name will be out with those who were supposed to sit in this year. So what can you do? Either you choose to come and join us, or you will be among the people who ran away from the exam. There is this guy called Aropsi. I call him is my role model. We are colleagues, but he's my role model because he knows mathematics very well. Additional math and basic math plus chemistry. This is a guy who has helped me a lot, and he pushed me to leave WOW in April on day 3 to go back for my national exam. I think that time I went and sat for exam in June on date 29, and we finished date 14 July 2014. And I did not spend even 2 weeks in village again. I came back to Wow, and that is when I decided to leave Wow and also come to Juba. I think I have tried my level best, but there are those who were standing with me, those who were pushing me until when I reach where I am today. I think the most important thing, I don't ignore any advice from people. When there is something facing me in my life, I used to listen to people who will give me advice, and I used to talk to very many people when there is challenges that is facing me. And I talk to those people because I need them to help me with any advice that can change my mind on what is facing me, so that I should also become a better person like those who make it in life. And I appreciate those people who stand with me by that time until when even others' problem came in, and I think it has become an amazing journey for me, because if I did not listen to those who give me advice, and to those who also try to push me, I would have not made it to be here today with you. And coming back to 2019, also when I am in third year Afanal University, things did not work well again, because the time I joined Afanal University, I am still alone, nobody with me. But the goodness of it, I am already used to those challenges. So I don't see them like they will overcome me again. I'm the one who will even overcome them at any time. We push until I finished semester 6, 2019, in October, and lockdown came in, and things did not move well again. Even I decided to go back to village. But I asked myself, the same village that I left because of those challenges, and I now face some challenges here in Juba. I want to go back there again, which means it will become worse even for me. So I better stay here with this lockdown, and thing that I was doing has already cut off, because I was one of the teachers in one of the community school here in Juba, and due to the lockdown, I lose my work. I become jobless, and things did not move well. So I try to stay until even one of my friend pushed me to join network marketing business, and that is where I pushed my 2020 until 2021 when I go back to university. I thank God that I made it until I got my certificate 2023 in Afarnal University.
Wow, 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 wow. It's a lot of up and down. You make me really love when you say you have been through a lot of problems that now you say problems cannot overcome you, you will overcome them. If you are listening, there in the comment section, so you can also share your U-turn moment, your stories, your challenges that you've been through, that you turn to opportunities to make you who you are today. When you go through challenge, and you can hear from the summary, to look at it here, is that, you know, struggle become actual opportunities to push yourself ahead. And if there are key three takeaways I can learn from Luca is you have to believe in yourself, believe in people who believe in you, because Luca shared a lot of people that are behind him, pushing him, advising him, encouraging him. And you can be encouraged, but if you don't believe in those encouragement and take advice, as Lucas said, until we progress as well. So you need to believe in those. And see challenge as a moment to get to the next step, not as something to take you back. So thank you for that, Luca. And we'll have more follow up later, but I'll give the chance to other U10 fellows. I see Joel March is back. Thank you. Welcome back, Joel March. So, what today's topic is how you turn struggle into opportunities for progress. And if you can, based on your answer on what Luca just shared, what Alaki shared, and just share your moment when some things were not working for you, but instead of collapsing and giving up, you something happened that helped you to see things differently and inspire you to be who you are today. Sharing this success story on the U10 platform. So take it away so much.
I've been facing a network issue. Adich, you can go first as I prepare for the question.
So take it away, Dorcas. Can you share a bit about a moment in your life when things were not working, and what happened that helped you to come out of that situation and to be where you are right now? What lesson have you learned that you can share with people that are listening? And for those that are listening, please share this conversation. You never know, young Abella Pink, be inspired by our stories to actually see the situation they might be in right now that is, challenging, and say if Dorcas can manage it, or Alakir can manage it, me too, I can manage it. So take it away, Dorcas. Actually, in Chukuping, I don't know.
Network dwaraj Dorcas in chukuping.
Okay. All right. Dorcas, Achija, Chola, are you ready? Or I can.
Okay, okay, okay. Hello. Uh, are you forgetting me?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. It has been a while. Been up and down. Okay, my journey at least to education is somehow long, very complex, as I can put it. You know, uh, I was the son of a great wrestler, and I was also, I'd wanted to also follow his footstep, until one time when he disappointed me by getting another wife, and I was left with nothing actually, because, you know, as someone who grew up in the cattle camp, what normally keeps you is, when you have cattle and you have cows. So he disappointed me one time. I can put it. That's how I can put it.
Just me
So
or just yeah, or came here,
you
do.
know, and that's how I came to school. Got to realize that there was nothing that I was doing actually. So I came home and I started school. But though it was a bit challenging because I didn't really see the value of education at that time. I could go to school and also thinking on about also going for wrestling as well. So I had that mindset those days. So until I was inspired by one of my cousins, who actually returned from Kenya. I think he was in Kakuma. So when he came, he became a teacher in one of the primaries in my home village. So I got to learn from him, because many people were calling him Mwanyechia and all that, you see. And he was actually Mwanyechia because he was teaching, he knew mathematics very well. Him was when he was very good at mathematics. So I had to, develop some feelings on how people were used to express feelings towards him because he had returned, and the perception that people had those days about people who normally go for studies in Kenya is actually that, when you go to Kenya, you either come as Jaolit or maybe a drunkard somehow. So so education was not a priority. But that guy came when he was not a Jaolit, he came when he was not a drunkard, but actually a responsible gentleman. So he inspired me somehow. He became my teacher, and I was like, I need to also be good at math like him. So that's how I got inspired until crisis came in and we were displaced. Our stories are almost similar, like those of Alakir, because we are all refugees. mm, I think about three of us here, or maybe four of us, we are refugees, if I can put it. Yeah, so when I came to Uganda, I started schooling somehow, and I didn't know English very well. I was also struggling, though I was good at mathematics. I could write very well, but English was my problem, my biggest problem. I came to Uganda and I found something that they call rewrite, and I had to, and it was my first time actually seeing that, and I was in primary five actually. And imagine, I came from Southern and I was in primary five, and it was my first time seeing such, like you rewrite a sentence in some format. Uh, so, uh, in the refugee camp, there are a lot of challenges always. Uh, Difficulty in trying to access education. Education was not actually free. Uh, in these camps of Uganda here, I don't know in Kenya, but here in Uganda, it's not actually free. Uh, so though you're a refugee or not, so I was kind of facing some difficulty in education, though had to I managed with a little support from my parents. I completed my primary, and the challenge came in when joining secondary school. I had to return back to South Sudan and join one of the schools in Bor, and life became very difficult. When I was in a relative home, and Roy, I had a thought. I need to return back to Uganda. I told my father, I know you're paying my school fees here, but though you're not capable of maybe affording some of the good schools there in Uganda. At least I would want you to maybe sponsor me in uh, some schools in Germany, because somehow they're not that expensive. $100 could cater for all that in those days when I was studying. So I returned back to Uganda. I struggled. My dad paid me in senior two. When I joined Senior 3, I got a sponsorship about, it's called Helping Hand. It's being led by one of the good people. It's called Gabriel Akim, Iran to California. Uh, so I got that opportunity when I was in Senior 3, and they took me to Senior 4. And they had promised me that if I do well in Senior 4, then I will proceed to A level. And after A level, it's me now to, because by then I'll be a gentleman. I'll be a responsible guy to maybe see way forward how I can reach university. So luckily enough, I pursued my senior four. I reached senior six. The time that I was supposed to join senior six was during Corona, and actually Corona came in. I had to be patient with Corona, and I was just there in the camp. So after Corona, I joined senior five and then senior six. As I was also studying, I was also having this kind of, feeling. After senior six, what next now? What do I do? Like after senior six, of course, I'll pass, but opportunities somehow they're rare. So I had a thought. A thought came in my mind. I also thought of having a double dealing, like in senior for South Sudan, because I had not sat from South Sudan. And also in that very year, I talked to somebody from South Sudan to register me as an online student. That's how they call it. Like when you're not there physically, the term you as an online student. So I was registered there and had to go, system South Sudan or wide any college by Diak. So I went there and I came back. That same year, why I shared this, knowing a difficulty, maybe Chin hit somehow. You should not see that as maybe a dead hand. You need to also be diverse in thinking, reasoning, see way forward. How we, but to me, uncle. So I sat all of them. And after senior six and the other senior four, opportunity didn't come along. Like I had to return back to South Sudan. You know, the man that on channel you 2 weeks on channel and South Sudan, I can get colleague a year. No, I call him. He's a very good guy. Chol Ayuen, a very good guy, really, ambitious gentleman. So he came up with an initiative called Peacepedia, and he told me, you know, I like how committed you are. I want you to join me, and we push this. So I joined him, and you know, we're doing some small initiatives under Peacepedia. We carried out career guidance and development program in most of the schools there in Juba. We're guiding students how to navigate, how to go about their careers, and how to like if you want to really want to become one, maybe a doctor. How do you start with? So you know, that one really helped me. It boosted me somehow, my CV, the recommendation that I got, as I was also trying other opportunities like MasterCard. You know, after a year, to go a scholarship MasterCard go a year. Because of all that, you know, because a little, it's me now to push myself somehow far, and maybe to stand out as the best. So I boosted myself with such programs, and they really hand me his scholarship to Mastercard. And now I'm pursuing software engineering at African Leisure University. So it's really a great U-turn. You know, I didn't actually see all those problems, all those challenges as, you know, as dead ends. So I actually turned them like into something that would really had to turn those pressure, the pressure that I got into something that will really build me. So thank you, and that's briefly about me. And my story is it's a bit long. So
It's a long story, but very, very powerful story, like all the other stories. Imagine someone, dreaming from childhood to be a big wrestler like their dad, and now he's wrestling in educational arena. You are doing mental wrestling from physical wrestling. That was a huge, huge, U-turn moment. And I actually like the fact that, you know, I laugh really hard because you say, Baba do walk the acting rope, and that make you angry to pursue your own dream. Because you walk Baba do I see a couple. Okay, and he can use them the way he likes. And so not many people can actually think, but many children can actually think that way, right? Because and that is the key thing. If you are, in a situation where you are depending on someone, and you see this someone have your own agendas, and instead of becoming entitled, becoming hopeless because I achieve a girl, you actually can turn that anger into that no one is here to serve you, right? You have to figure yourself out. We are all individual, and you tell your parents to this, and you move to back and to age of realization, and if anything happens, you are responsible. You have to own your journey. And Dorcas read about personal responsibility. So I don't know, Dorcas, if you can mute yourself and say, hey, I think your voice will do, or or good, because you are next. And someone said that Dorcas has to overcome that connectivity issue because we are talking about turning challenges into opportunities. Okay. You are still not there. I think your your microphone has been hacked. But yeah, maybe you can join on your phone. That would be make sense. But to be honest, this conversation is really rich. We just sharing our own personal stories, and I remember just to drive from my own story before I can ask the next question. And last year I was in Kigali, and I was driving with one of my big boss, the boss of my boss is like a big, very big person. And he had Googled my name online and found out that actually I had a refugee background. I was like, Rhoda, how did you make it? Like how does it feel for you? To have been a refugee and now that make you sad that you went through that experience. And I was like, to be honest, if I had not been displaced or refugee or been in challenges, maybe the two would together on this table can be right now discussing this because he's a very accomplished person, a top figure at the University of Toronto and in Canada, and the guy Takumai. And that actually changed a little bit how he looked at me. He was amazed I raised that because sometimes challenges wakala can actually make us better. Like if you look at it with your pure dia and I think mom I went through like victim narrative but yeah any genie Louis wealthy, you cannot grow. And that's why we say if you want to turn a struggle into opportunities, they're saying because I'm a refugee, you get opportunities for refugees that make you who you are. You get resilient of that make you actually overcome other challenges of life that other people cannot easily, overcome. So that, changing that narrative. And so I will go back to Dorcas before I can talk a lot. So Dorcas, if you can you share us
Can
about
you hear?
that moment? Yes, very loud and clear.
All right. Okay, I'm going to use my phone for now. I don't know what happened to my laptop. And hi to everyone. Hi to the return members. For those that are here for the first time, we are always here at this time. So always come here and welcome. For those that are always here, this is our family and we are here to learn. So today's topic is really very important and I really like it. So I've just tried to make it all way possible to come here. And by the way, most of my colleagues have talked a lot about this point and everything. Like the people that we are just talking about right now. So those are just refugees, as we know, the South Sudan country with its issues, seeing our parents, all those things. So as we were born as refugees, raised up as refugees, or born as displaced people and raised up as displaced places. And also for those that have got the chance to go to abroad, we also know how hard it is there, especially as the environment is new for them. But for me, I have a lot of stories, honestly. Sometimes I just sit down and I just look back, I just be like, wow, this has really been a long journey, but I'm grateful that I'm here. So I really don't know which one should I really highlight. But okay, the most important thing is that if I just look back, the most of the point or most of the thing that have really hold me in all the occasion or the event of thing that has happened to me is that I make sure I own everything. Like I own my life as mine, right? So and knowing that no one is here to save me. So it is me to save myself in most things. Some of us, as I said before, these are different categories of the people. And most of us were just privileged to have maybe a big family. Some of us did not have a family. Some of us were just displaced. Some of us were refugees. So a lot of things happen differently, like according to the environment or according to the community that you were in, according to the family that you were in. And exactly like sometimes if I just imagine, right, even if you have read a history, some people cannot relate, right? And the common point always is having the struggles, right? The problem that we have faced in all the different angles, but the point is always having the ownership of your life, of certain thing that has happened, right? And how, like knowing that it is yours, no one is here to save you, and how do you do it? So that has really helped me in most of my things. One of the things that, like, I remember when I went to Nimazi, in when the war broke out in South Sudan and we went to Nimazi, some of us just that went to P7, right? Direct. We faced a lot of challenges, like the system were new, some of us, and the environment, like we're studying in a community school that was far from the camp. You have to work for 1 hour, right? And in that school there's no water because it was just mountainous and you could not get water. You have to carry the water. Again, you have to, if you take the water at home from morning, it will not reach evening. And when you decide to go back home, you will spend 1 hour on the way and 1 hour coming. That's mean you will come back when people are going home, right? So you have just to stay there. And we were very many. Then they like they did the screening, and some of us passed, and they remained in P7. And I remember that we used to have only two choices. You either choose to fast, you leave this environment because next year again you are going to be working for 1 hour, or you choose to pass or you fail, then again you repeat the same scenario or the same condition for another year. So, and think at the again thing were really hard, right? We were already in P7, and the exam was usually set for P3, P2, P4, P5. Remember, we don't have also notebook, right? We don't have notebook for those classes. We are just new to the system. So it was really, really very hard. But I remember saying saying to myself, no matter what, I have to pass. I have to just make sure I pass P7 because next year I can't manage to move here again. And so, like, by the time I say that I have to pass, make sure I own it. This is my life and all those things. So there were a lot of challenges, but I have to find out. We used to go to other classes and beg those people to help us with their books. You go home, you go and try to read a little bit, and you summarize it a little bit. And again, as I said, people have problem and they happen differently. Some of us, like you used to go to school, move for that distance, and again come home to work because no one is there at home. It is also it is also on you. And others were having people that were helping them at home, so they could just come and read, or they come on their time and they do nothing. And some of us were you work for a distance for an hour and you come back home and you do that. So it is different. And in those conditions, like for one that is always helped at home by others, the one that is not helped. So the problem are different, and how they can handle them is different. But the most important thing is always that accepting this is your history and this is you. This is your environment. You have no other choice. So but out of it, you have to do something, right? And yes, at the end, we passed. And some husband like me, we got a scholarship for high school. So when I just look back, I would just sometimes I just remember I just say yes. If I did not say I have to pass and make sure I own it, that's my life, it will not happen. And also like there were some challenges in my life whereby it was really hard like to get some financial stuff. But as a young girl in this community, yes, that's something we don't do. But I step up and when I end up doing some work that were not allowed for a girl to do, like making some sambusas to sale, right? Because I know that was my history and none was going to help me. And I like another thing is that I learned that I should not compare myself to anybody. Like that girl is a girl in their home and girl don't do that. So she don't do that, I should not do that. I was like, this is me and this is my life. This is that girl life. And we have different background, we have different family, we have different what. So it is just always on me. And I could just sit down, always look for the solution to my problem based on me, based on the environment I am in, based on the factors, based on the people around me, right? So I have to always base it there. I should not base it to someone and compare my life to the other person because I don't know the background and the environment and the factors that really resonate about the problems such person have. So that thing really helped me in most of the things that I want to write. I cannot narrate them all, but when I realized that it is my life and I have to do what I should do, knowing that it is me, so it really helped me a lot. Another thing is believing in me, right? I used to be. I don't even know if I really have that skill of believing in me like the way I used to do. I used to believe in me more than anyone can do. Like I could just sit down and I would say, Doctor, even you know how to do this better. I used to rate myself that you can do this, you cannot do this, but even regardless of what, you can do this. And whenever I say I can do it, honestly, I I surely used to do it. I remember for some cases when I just said, even that I cannot do it. I usually struggle for it. Whenever I just block my mind and say I cannot do this, it used to be hard. But when I say now, if you don't do it, who else will do it? This is you to do it. No matter what, like I used to really do side thing. And another thing was accountability, right? Accountability, like in every condition that I go through in. So I used to evaluate if at some point I contributed toward it, right? or someone else did it. So if I know I contributed toward it, so I should say, okay, next time I should not do it like that. I should do it this way. And now what should I do better, right? What should I do better to make sure that I don't repeat the same thing or I do what? So these were the things that have really helped me, and even still right now, I'm just trying to push through that to make sure I own my life and being accountable what I've done. Did I contribute to it negatively or positively? And how can I change, especially the negative narrative, right? And also another thing is that I always believe that someone can make mistake, but you can also reshape it, right? Like now you have done this mistake, like how do I do it better? And making sure that I don't compare to anybody. I don't compare to anybody like last time so and so did it and this one happened like this. I just make sure I compare to myself and the factors and the environment that I was really in and up to now. So far, I cannot really narrate all the stories, but being accountable and believing in yourself, owning your life, are really helping me to push to where I am today. And still, I know I'm going to do a lot of things because I believe that I can do them.
Wow, wow. Dorcas, you are very inspirational. Like, you really inspire me about that agency and ownership of your life. It's something that you've been that I've known you for the time we've been on the year together at the U-turn, and how we sometimes look at the big picture but really not focusing about things that are within our control, and that is like your mindset. How do you talk to yourself, your beliefs, how do you see yourself relative to your environment? And you said something that many people, Gabriel can and Mayan, say that comparison is a big killer. And that leads me to actually our final question, which is really looking now at your journey, all the experiences that you've been through, long stories because of the time, yeah, where you are. And if you can actually be like advise someone who is now in your former shoes, ran maybe na ala kiri ran to kakuma at that time, someone to push her to the next level. When yeah, and now they are not doing well in school, and the future is really not there. You are not even helping yourself, and what do you do to be where you are, to be a U-turn advocate for empowerment at the time? If Naira and Chiluka, maybe it's someone to right now in the village who get firstborn, they and then we depend on them, shaping the way. As naira until you chol my maybe around the pan young, and we dream be a big wrestler or be a singer. So now and Dorcas, of course. So what are three U-turn lessons you can draw from your life that you can share with that someone who is right now in your situation, that can help them to open their mind and see possibility that one day I can be like Luca, one day I can be like Dorcas, one day I can be like Aqua Philip. So I will start with, Alakir. Queen Kabla, your U-turn message, didn't everything was summarized, then we'll go down and be walk. Alakir to Luca, to Chol, to Dorcas, Bakdi Jabamar. And Iranto on died there on the show. I see H1 here, I see, many people. Please share your U-turn or three lessons that can help someone to turn the struggle that are currently going through into opportunities, for progress, despite where they are at the moment. So Alakir, take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow, it was very inspiring to listen to the stories of my colleagues. I feel like I know you a little bit better now, and I understand more deeply why we are here today and what led us to this very moment, with different journeys, with different lives, with different stories, different challenges, but we still came together. So that is because you choose to decide that this is not the end. So with challenges, you either choose this is it, or no, there is more I can do about it. So refusing to let the circumstance define the end of your story, I would say is the number one for me. So wherever you had that challenge, you had you had to make a choice or make a plan whether you want to stop here or keep going. And because you kept going, you are where you are today. So whoever is listening, I would say lesson number one is you choose how your story ends. Like Dorcas was saying, you own your life, and it's up to you to do whatever you like with it. And if you decided after one obstacle, that's it for me, then that would be it for you. But I don't think that would be the best choice. So, for example, I fail in class 8 while I'm going to Form 1. Had I let that affect me, start to believe that I am not even smart enough to be in school, my life would have turned out so much different than what it is right now. But I stuck with it. I was like, you know what? There must be a reason these people really think even with my low marks I can go to high school. And I found out when I was there, when I started listening, when I started finding people who believed in me. Sometime I was sitting there, they're talking. I'm like, I don't see what you see. Like I really don't see it. But you know what? I'm gonna let you talk about it, and those things have built me up to who I am today. So lesson culture is believing people who believe in you, believing their vision and their sight that they have really seen you. So when people talk big email like who you are, people will come with different stories about you, different version, different beliefs, and you choose who you want to believe, right? I had other stories that are not very encouraging where one person looked me dead in the eye and said, "You will not make it past Form 2." And I was like, "What?" You will not make it past Form 2 because it's a common place that if a girl's done Class A, they get married right away. Even if they're very tall, very noticeable, of course, someone will come for them. And it did happen. Someone came for them, but I had people standing behind me, which I see in the story of Luca, that my auntie was like, absolutely not. You go find someone else to marry. This girl's gonna go to school and she's gonna continue to higher education. And I chose to believe her. I was like, you know what? She probably knows what's going on and she probably seen something in me. So I'll believe her and continue with the education. So those are the two lessons. I don't really know the third lesson. Um, in terms of comparing yourself, yes, comparison can take away from, if you look and you always see what is lacking in you instead of what is something you can achieve. So here is how I look around me. There are various people and various stories where I grew up. Some of them get married early on, they have children, and that could be my story. So I look around, I'm like, I don't want that story. Completely reject that path. And I look around one more time. I see people who chose to stuck with education and see how they're doing. Is that something I want to be like? Then I would pursue that path, right? So in terms of comparison is looking at your option. So Arere, where I grew up, there are young girls got married, they have children, their lives are probably okay. But when I look, I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. Kaya kaya Nairobi, like a Jora Maradom. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's for me either. So comparison could be a positive thing. It's all peer pressure and it has positive aspect to it. If your classmate has gotten good marks in school and you're like, who is she to do better than me? I can do better than her. And you go and study. That's healthy competition. It can push you to new place, right? So before I take all the time, thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope this help you be intentional about what you want to do next. The next time you are in a challenge, reflect back to one of the biggest U-turn of your life. Like if you were able to make it through that, right? Then that's how I look COVID and I'm like, you know what? If I made it through Tongtur Kana, Kakuma, what is COVID gonna do to me? There's no live bullets. It's just because I have to stay home and all that. So in conclusion, I'm really grateful to have shared my story and to have learned more about my colleagues. And for people engaging in the comments, please share this story. It may change someone's life. And Thank you, Akwal, for facilitating this conversation. It's always a good atmosphere when you're here. Thanks.
Thank you. No, and it's a good atmosphere, team bonding too, and also like sharing our experiences to make impact. It's really amazing. Thanks for sharing your lesson. I want the next person is Luca. Luca, thank you. Take it away. What are three lessons from your story that you want someone in the village right now to take away to make their life better and be the next Luca on the U-turn show?
Thank you once more, Madam Akwal Philip, and also to our viewers. I really appreciate you guys for being with us. You guys always encourage us also to keep following U-turn and keep inspiring others who are still coming to make it in their life later on. Me, myself, I think my three lessons that I will also share here are the U-turn message. Uh, they might not be something very tough or something that is new to anyone. But first, I will advise those who want to come to town or those who are in villages and they want to come to town, or your school has been cut due to lack of finance or resources. Don't give up on your thing that you want to achieve in your life, and don't blame others people about why they did not help you, your mom, your dad, your uncle, or anyone. Like to me, the first time I came to Wow, I did not know anyone that I should come and meet in Wow. I just decided to come to Wow because I want to see how town life will be with me than the village life, which put me into those chaos. So I decided to come to Wow. I did not know anyone, and I came to meet some people, especially from my hometown, and also new people from different places who also see me like I'm a hardworking guy, and they try to give me some work. I began doing them until I learned everything. So my U-turn message that I can give to those people who have been listening and who will also listen to this message later on, mostly don't be a victim of anything that is going in your life. Don't have a victim mindset, like you see yourself like you are a failure. When you try, you want to finish your primary in the right time, or secondary, or even university level at the right time, and you fail to get the resource to do that one, then you decide to think of yourself that you are not going to make it in life. Nothing like that. If you think in that way, you are creating something that will stop you from progressing. If you think in that way, you are also creating something that will make you to become a failure in future. But if you just leave yourself, you have an open-minded. Leave your open-minded, be open-minded person. Try also to interact with the new people. Even if you spend 2 to 3 years without going back to school, there's nothing wrong about it. That's why I told you before. I did not even finish study my senior two. 2011, I started senior one, and I jumped from senior one to senior three 2013. And I did not see it as something very tough on me. It is not an obstacle why I did not study senior two. But there is a reason why I did not study it. Maybe I did not have resource, and I did not have anything to do. I did not have a good place to say. Even if I have money, maybe I cannot have a good place to say. As a student, you need someone to help to be giving you back up later on when you go for a lesson. But since you are independent, you are the one struggling alone. You cannot make it. So my first message is that don't victimize yourself. Don't be a victim. Don't have a victim mindset like you will not make it when there is something that is blocking you. Then you now close up your mind and you think that you cannot make it later on. That one will cause you a lot of things and will not make you to live open life and will not make you to share your life with other people who have already made it in life. I even got it here on U-turn. There is someone who was asking a question that why is people of children of rich people or wealthy people don't make it in life? What is the problem? My brother who asked that question, I think there is one thing I can add on that one. Basically, the children of rich people or wealthy people, some of them don't make it in life, not because they have not been struggling, but it is because of the life that they are exposed. Some of them they did not stay with their parents, mostly when they were still young. Their parents have been busy doing other activities, and for them they are in different place. Since they are in different place, like especially here in South Sudan, children of big people now. Most of them are not in South Sudan. They are not in Juba. Most of them are in East Africa. Others are even in Europe. But seeing their parents give the money whenever they ask, they take the money. They see life is not going to be very tough later on them. So they start doing things which are not up to their dream. That things which are not going to support them in future. Some of them start to take alcohol. Others start doing things which are not part of their journey to success. And that's why most of them, they are not making it in life. So this is one of the things that face those children of rich and wealthy people. But the child of a struggling family, if they ever they try to find a way of how to change that narrative. They always sleep and they wake up in the very early in the morning to find a way of how to change that narrative. Especially to me. I'm not from a rich family. Even in the village, my daddy does not have even head of cattle like 30 or even 100. And that's why he did not manage to proceed with our studies, me and my younger brother. He stopped in primary 7 and we took over. Especially me, I took over. I tried to push myself until I finished my senior 3. And again, I finished my university. Even though I did not make much in my life, I see myself I'm going somewhere. I may not be the same in the next 10 to 15 years or 5 to 10 years to come. So don't victimize yourself. Don't be a victim of what has stopped you from doing what you want to do. The second thing also that I want to add here, mostly what will make you to be open-minded, it is when you take ownership, like what Dorcas say. Take responsibility of your life. Take everything, anything that you want. Either you want good, you want to go to a good school, you want to wear a good clothes, you want to have a smartphone or even a computer or anything that you want to have in your life. Be the same person who will find a way to get it. Don't even focus on other people, like to ask someone or to blame your mom, your dad, or your elder brother or your elder sister or anyone who was giving you service or who was sponsoring you when you were in primary or in secondary. If those people who were supporting you or someone who was supporting you is stopped from supporting you again, and you want to become independent, you want to do something in your life, don't take your life like it is a responsibility of someone. Take your life to be your own responsibility. The moment you take ownership, this is whereby you will find a way to do something so that you can get all the things that you want. And the good life is the life that you do as individual, the life that you put yourself in. Like to me now, nobody who can decide for me. Like even if you do what to me, you cannot decide. Like, look, I want you to do this and do that, and I did not accept. I cannot engage myself with it. But seeing if you put your life in someone's responsibility, they can decide for you. Like if even you are senior 4 or primary, they can tell you that you have to go back to village, and you can accept because he's the person who is giving you everything. You cannot deny that one. You cannot tell him I am not going there. What if he said that I cannot give you anything to eat here in Juba? So this is the second point that I want to add on top of that. For those who want to become successful or want to do something in their life, and you see you are not getting any support from someone, try to take responsibility of all the things that you want. Don't even ask your mom, your dad, or anyone who was supporting you. If they support you, it is okay. And if they did not support you, don't even bother yourself on that part. And that is the second point. My last point that I want to add also here, when you do something, any decision that you make, if it did not work well for you, my brother or my sister, don't try to blame yourself. The moment you blame yourself, when you make a decision and it failed, you want to come to Juba to come and do something, but you came and you spent 2 to 3 years or 5 years, you did not make it in life, you did not even went back to school. So you want to blame yourself. Why I take this decision in the first place? Now you are giving yourself a headache. You are giving yourself a stress. You are giving yourself depression. You are even putting yourself in danger because your mind will be full of all the things that cannot help you because you have blamed yourself every time you get out of the compound or every time you meet with some new people. What is in your mind there? You are always blaming yourself because of the decision that you made 5 years ago to come to Juba. Me, I don't blame myself. If I make a decision today and it failed after 6 months, I first look into it, why it has failed. If it is something which was about to help me and I did it in the wrong way, that's why it failed, I say now this is an experience to me. that case is closed, and then I start a new chapter. And that's why I'm still pushing up to today. I don't blame myself whenever I make a decision and it fail. I don't blame myself. And and the last message that I can give to those who will be listening to us and those who are listening now, those three important things you have to take them with you. Don't victimize yourself. Don't be a victim of whatever you are going through. Don't be a victim of any challenge that you face in your life, and take responsibility or take ownership, like what my sister said before. And the most important thing, whenever you make a decision, don't attempt to blame yourself when that decision fails. The moment you blame yourself, you are even victimizing yourself, and you are giving outsiders to have much thing to say on you. If you keep talking about what you have done and you fail, you have tried this and you fail, you keep telling them to everyone. Now you are victimizing yourself. You are putting yourself in a very bad circle. So these are the few things that I want to add on top of that. And I appreciate you guys for today's program, especially Madam Akwal and Cholmai.
Thank you. No, thank you. You You know, I was reflecting this morning about my over 10 years in Canada, and I have nothing to show apart from talking on the youth. And you know, when you just said that, you know, take responsibility of the outcome in your life, right? You know, don't blame yourself for whatever outcome you are having. It really inspired me to reframe my success differently. And it actually answer the question she Gabriela can teach in the comment, like, what does it mean to make it in life? To make it in life is actually right now, in my understanding, it's subjective. It depends on individual. How I see my success is different from how Luca sees their success, from how Dorcas sees their success, or how Lucky or John might see their success, or how you yourself see the success. So me, I can say I'm successful because maybe I am in control of my life, right? Or I'm confident about where I am and where I'm going, and I'm grateful. I have my purpose. I discovered my purpose, and I'm working on it. So that itself, I'll make it, because someone somewhere might not have realized their purpose. I didn't know my purpose until something happened and my eye opened, and I say, okay, this is my calling, and this is the success to me because I'm living that dream. It could be different. It could be around it could be around material possession today. It could be around no whatever the case is. So it's different to your answer. And before Banlo no chol much, we're there. I cannot well also want to acknowledge Dwom Benjamin. So actually you tell a story there. Actually share here, right? About where he struggled to find employment and he volunteered and end up being hired, which is really the lesson or the key takeaway is that don't give up, volunteer if you don't have payment, and when you volunteer maybe something will come out, and that's what we are doing even here on the U-turn. We do this every Saturday. We post on online, engage with our community, but we are doing it on a voluntary basis with hope that the impact itself will pays us. We feel happy when someone say that, reach out to us, that they have changed it, we have changed their perspective, we have changed their mindset, we have changed their life. And who knows how this will go and how it will impact us later on in different ways. So that is it. Thank you for sharing, Duom. And I also saw Ruben Kwenala. But I want to let Cholmai share his three lessons from story that can inspire someone. So take it away, Chola.
Hello, you getting me? All right. Thank you, everyone, the audience, for paying attention to this conversation. I know it's very hard to, sometimes to be listening to some online, jokers, some online comedians like me, like Apple, like Luca. That's how some people tend to perceive us. But when I look back at where I came from, it's really it means that you need to accept where you are, your position at that time, and begin acting. So that's all I can say about. I'll not go deep as as how I started initially, but I'll just take it somewhere where where things became tougher at least, but I was somehow empowered. where that was a time when I completed senior six. Thing, seemed stuck after my senior six. So I started acting. I changed. I understood myself that for me to be able to proceed to university, I need to work on myself. I need to develop myself, like my personal development, and for me maybe to be able to get an opportunity like a scholarship. So I lacked that. I didn't have that. The only things that I had were grades, uh, two senior four certificates and senior six. So those were not enough. So I understood that I needed somehow to be empowered in one way, because I understood what a scholarship always requires, what institutions like Mastercard always requires. They are looking for people, the change makers, people who are already creating an impact, like in their communities where they are. So always you need to see yourself. If you think things are not really working, you need to change. It doesn't matter when you're changing. U-turn always requires you to be honest with yourself. You need to understand that I have a weakness somewhere here. How do I change this? How do I make it better? How do I get an opportunity that is really ahead of me? So you need to be honest with yourself, understand yourself, accept where you are, and if you think that is not helping you, drop it and pursue something that will really change your life. About the question that I call has already answered, what does it really mean to make it alive? In practical way, in a more practical way, you need to break it down into three things: stability, control, and the impact. So, are you really stable? Like maybe are you able maybe to provide for yourself food, shelter, and hope? That is stability. No constant pressure, maybe for money or finances. So that is stability. The control. Uh, do you decide? The most aspect of life, like where you go, what you're doing, who you work with. Do you have control over that? So that is control. And the impact, like, have you created some kind of impact in your community? Like, have you changed people's life really in some way? Like, are people better because of you? Maybe because you showed up somehow. So that is how I can break it down at your own face. You can break it. You take control. No, you start with the stability, control, and the impact. Those three things, if you understand them very well, you will see. Now you can weigh yourself. Are you stable? Yeah. Are you the one controlling your life? Have you created some impact in your community? Oh, yes, that one I can accept. You have created some impact. We are here now at U-turn. That is an impact now already. We will now be having stories to tell in the near future that I got to be better because of U-turn. I got a skill in my presentation because of U-turn. So it's an impact already. So you'll always be there. Yeah? You'll always be there. You will not be far from our CVs right now. So that is an impact already. I still don't know about your stability, still don't know about your control. That is your own now question to define. So, and that is it. My brother Ken, Gabriel Ken, can stop there.
Wow, wow, wow. So that's very profound answer. Actually, I've made it. Thank you. I feel stable and I not like a complacent place. I still am growing, and of course, and I am really also thinking now I need to be in control, or I'm trying to be in control of myself. And I know many of you here are in that space too. You are controlling your life, you are controlling your mind, you are controlling your tongue too. In here, life. So I think I've made it there. So thank you for defining exactly what it means to make it. That's very profound. And thanks for sharing your lessons. Really, really very powerful. For those of you who are watching, Nyali, thank you for giving us feedback about how a podcast is really a learning platform, and that is it. It's a learning platform. It's a mindset changing platform. It's a capacity or a skill building platform, and of course, we are working pathways too to help young people and our community members to make income through this in the future. That's our goal. So not just mindset, capacity to income pathway. No, that is the U-turn in life. We're turning struggle into opportunities for stability, for control, and for impact. That's great. Before I go to Dorcas, I see Ruben Partial here. Actually, three lessons I share that the first lesson is today is not the same with tomorrow. So you keep moving forward. So whatever you achieve today, you can build on it by tomorrow. So don't settle. You are in control of your thoughts. Others' opinion are just monitoring screen. So don't go you, especially now what you are. We wear age. We wear issue a there's other people opinion, and if you have control of yourself, you will not even mind about what other people say. You don't even mind if you love quite play it doesn't matter because I'm in control. So thank you for that. And the third is success is a product of willingness and action. So thank you so much, Ruben, for sharing your U-turn message, and for those who are sharing them on the comment section, please share the conversation. I also see Gab here. Thank you for joining us and for your comment. So Dorcas, it's your turn to share your three U-turn lessons from your life that people can take away, if especially young girls who are still struggling to make their own identity and make something out of their life, and the cultural context of it that you have overcome. Take it away.
Okay, thank you, Call, for this chance again. The three lessons that have helped me, and I think they could be common for some young girls out there, and maybe different. One of them is that don't ever compare yourself to anybody. Honestly, at that point, that's what's really killing a lot of women out here today, right? We like comparing ourselves a lot. We like comparing ourselves a lot to other people, not knowing even why they're doing that. So, and that comparison has really killed some of us. It has killed the inner us and the true, really us, right? Because for me, I may be someone that like doing artwork, right? But just because people are saying that it's not something good, or maybe my neighbors always say that it's not a good thing, or I'm seeing other people doing other thing that I see are great. But honestly, I know the factor that cannot make me reach that. But just to compare myself, I can even get lost. Yes, get lost in my path or what it really mean for me. So me as Dorcas, since I was young, I think is one of the things that I just think it is something that was instilled in me as nature or what. I just don't like comparing myself to other people because I know people there are common thing, right? But copying other people, like compare yourself, like you do what someone exactly that person has done. So it is something that I'm just grateful God has has just blessed me with it. So why should I compare myself with anybody when I don't know their background, their factors, and everything that make them who they are? So another thing is that it is believing in yourself. Honestly, like I don't know, like some of you that are that have kid now, regardless of what you do, you like to study your kid, know this kid is good at this, is good at that, right? There are some point whereby you cannot really understand who they are exactly. And I think as we grow up, there's that point whereby you can sit down and have meeting with yourself and you say, I have resilience, maybe I don't have kindness, maybe I have patience, maybe I don't have patience, and maybe I'm someone who is not good at talking, and maybe I can do anything that require energy. You may know very well that you are not good at this and you are good at this very well, of which but other people cannot really know where, right? That maybe Doka is good at speaking, Doka is someone who is resilient, and other people may not know. Or let me say, some people that were apart from you and you go that place as a new person, right? It is always you that knows you than other people. So if you always wait for others to say that you can do this and do that, or maybe you are good at this, it's really hard. So just believe in you because you know really. You better know what what that task required, and do you know it, or can you deal with it, or you cannot deal with that. And the fact is that we learn through experiences, right? Whenever you say I will do this thing in your mind, and you just send it to your mind that I will do it, because you believe in you, no matter what, no matter the challenges, you just do it. So the fact that believe in yourself, right? Because many people will always tell that you cannot do this. Other will say that I was thinking this is this one is good as you and can be good as me. Who said that? Do you actually know? Do you actually know that? Have you asked her or him that this is really good with him or her? Why are you assuming it? So always just say, even though they say it is good with you, but you know it's not good with you, yeah, just say no, it's not good with me. So another point is just take ownership of your life. Honestly, to say that. I'm grateful since I was young, I have been taking everything. Like my life depend on me, even if I have other people. Mostly on the thing that I can manage, right? The thing that I can control. And leave the thing that I cannot control. So just take ownership of everything. Even let me say, passing in class, you have to own it that like I have to fast. What should I do to fast? What should I do to do this thing? Like before I was saying, most of us cannot really narrate all the life scenario we have been in and that we are still in and we are also to experience. But the most common thing is always that believe in yourself and own your life and don't ever or never ever compare yourself because they're really you, right? They're really you, regardless of the common point and values that you have. We always have differences on the factors and the environment that always make us choose differently or make different decisions, right? Regardless of the same problem we have, those factors always count, and we always aim and reach the solution, but it was in different ways. So, and like someone asked before, that what does it mean to make it alive? For me, I like what I understand is that to make it alive is when I really reached the point where I needed to be in, right? Maybe it was a project for me to do a project and I really complete that project exactly the way I want it. I feel I have make it, right? Was it financial factor or maybe project that I really needed and I ship it, I got money. I have made it now. And also maybe like a skill that I needed to learn. And I find myself I have learned a skill. I have made it. Could it be a house that I need to build? And I end up building the house. That you met now because we have different projects, we have different everything, but it's reaching to the point that you really needed to be there, and you reach it. That means you have succeeded, and you made it. Because some of us we have different expectation and lifestyle. Like for me, I can have money, but I can decide to stay in a simple place. This is what I wanted. I made it. You can decide to stay in a very luxurious house. You reach there and you made it. That's it. So that's what I can say so far.
Damn it. And thank you so much, Dorcas. This is the most powerful show that I can say that I really feel inspired. Like, I know that we usually have a lot of inspirational talk, inspirational guests, but these are really getting, U10 fellows going deep in on these their stories have been really powerful, and many people actually resonate with that. Iman Emmanuel is commenting from the YouTube page that it's really amazing platform. They've learned a lot, and the key takeaway here is responsibility, being responsible, being honest with yourself, and taking charge of yourself. And I cannot end this conversation with kind of back to our community and to women in our community, because really in our community there are one of different challenges, and some of these challenges we turn them to opportunities. When some are good opportunities, but not bad opportunities. And it's not because of women, but because of cultural upbringing, be worked in societal expectation of women, and so many other factors that impact mindset in our community. And I can say this because back in the days, and even right now, men, yeah, is their life. They don't take ownership of their life in our culture. You men, yeah, you need when you men, yeah, you man don't you need so you depend on your family. For many young girls, they depend entirely on their family. Na chika tiaka they depend entirely on their mochika tia, right? And I know that because I remember we are getting work akuma. I learned on quite get a bigger pill because I can't get tia. Many young girls they believe that and below you mataba it. So you see a struggle, the struggle of going to school you turn into opportunity or mataba mo indithia. So really rural actually had upper hand because if I cholo my catching mataba being you get mataba yourself. So you have to work really hard to take responsibility, to take ownership of your life. But for the girls, they have hope, they have escape, they didn't clear but move. The truth is, sometimes for some people, it'll work. Even, like it share some of different scenarios, of young girls, choosing different opportunities or turning their struggle into different opportunities around there. And well, blonde mataba lela tiom courage, le nyol kemi. Randa bla mataba di la life de le flourish. And now someone inspiring someone else you. So the goal is, and it brings us back to debate you could discuss last week about women should take ownership of their life, and it come at the cost. It come at some stereotype in the community. Wala marriage material. So you don't want to own your life to focus on your education because at the end of the day you will get paid. So that is actually some of the wrong narrative within our community that shape mindset of young girls that are child for university is the or you become more powerful or more westernized, more civilized. So those things I mindset there you can affect that you don't want to own, to go for it, to do everything it takes. Some people want to use shortcuts. They might have that opportunities, and I want to share some of shortcuts opportunities that can end up dangerously. Story like 3 weeks ago, there was a trending story in Loral, Kenya. I don't know, South Sudan in many area in our community, too, in Dinga community as well. Anong nyan ke nyin ke no can mon Kenya ran in a army force marine. That lady, so money no family they want to think, but they don't know resources. So nyana maybe a mom and she want to take advantage of relationship. So so yen opportunity they so struggle can that she cannot pay school fees instead of working hard and get some scholarship when low like disadvantaged group because the Rebel Massacre Foundation take Kenyan, take everyone else. If you are from low income background, instead of working hard to get those opportunities, Gorola guy might be much better school. So money did everything. Hey, try school fees they been from all high school, Blair University, and no thing there. They have been thing money is struggling because much is giving all money now because nyan is beautiful for fine school. But Nyana knew that this is just an opportunity when you champion, but I don't want near from somewhere. So you are you are opportunistic in that sense. So what happened to this after change after school jalu graduate jam again money you actually ante masawa polygamy bala bear thing that need money in fresh money young person because you could drama as the co-wife with thing long get who is after her. So she decided to kick Monya or to woman. Monya become stressed, depressed. Like, how can you spend all your life on her? It can be acting to and now being red. So she organized some people being tangle while the massive. Now, so it was trending online. Like she's dying literally, face the area for life. So some of these shortcuts sometimes end up really bad. And that's why here on the U10, we encourage women to be, to be agents of their life. It's good now to, marriage a pathway for empowerment. Relationship can help you, inspire you, but don't really give up your life because it can be really bad if someone is in control. When you look at it, and then in your control of your life, they can decide oversight or on your life. They can kill you. They can harm you. They can, hold resources from you, or they can really stab you. So you need to be the one in control. You need to make it in the area of taking care of yourself, your future, and be in the driver's seat. So for young girls who have listened to this, how to turn, this struggle into opportunities, look at opportunities when that are sustainable. If not an opportunity, try your best. You never know. But if not an opportunity that you can work hard and learn from lesson at teach, learn from lesson Chol Mike, learn from lesson look at it from lesson Alakir and my own lessons, you can make something out of your life and have, bonus. It's good when I go shopping with them when I have strong relationship insecure. So thank you so much. Work on yourself. And wait, you can lay in the comment section. Share this in Kabia in our conversation for today. I learned a lot. Many people might learn from it. So share this conversation. And as usual, next Saturday we will be here doing more inspirational work, more conversation that lead to empowerment. So now again, and thank you, the U-Turn team, for great inspiration today. God bless you. Bye.
As we come to the end of this conversation, I just want to take a moment to remind you that the growth doesn't happen without taking a new direction. So if there is a message that has given you some clarity, some courage, or even a little bit of push towards the positive direction, I want you to take that with you, sit with it, go offline with it, and encourage you to continue to invest in your personal growth and say thank you for taking the time to be here for yourself and for the community, for the growth of the community. The U-Turn is not just a show. It's a community where real talk, real growth, and real U-Turn happens. So until next time, stay empowered, stay intentional, and never be afraid to make a U-Turn. Thanks. Bye.